Hey, everybody. It is Tuesday night. It is the night of tacos, the night of tequila, and the night of the Sith Dominion. Folks, we're going to say the Sith Dominion as much as we can say Sith tonight as just as much as possible. I have a theory about some stuff that might be happening, and yeah. So, welcome to the show, Debbie, Cam, and Jay's Wing. Jay
This
Schwing.
is from last.
That's all right. Very nice attire, Cam. I have a cap here. What do you got going on, Deb? You got anything Sithy? That's right. Look at us. And guess what? Those are not available right now in the store. I got
They're
one,
now collector's items.
I got one order off for this whole thing for the weekend. Specifically, I wanted to have a couple shirts to wear at the Comic-Con, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, I got a rejection for the design for copyright infringement a couple of times. Trying to do it over and over again. It's not looking promising. So what we started with a new logo. It still says Sith Dominion, but it's not using the font. It doesn't have the Sith logo. So we're already rebranding with this anyways. So moving forward, we'll see how this goes. But man, what a mess. And so Sithy things, Sith all the time. It's Sith. It's Tuesday. It's Sith night. So Sith. Oh my goodness. And look who just joined.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, Cat?
What's up, Cap?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is.
Okay, if that's what I think it is that a whole bunch of like maple syrup?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Yeah, maple syrup.
Let's go maple syrup.
Let's go maple syrup. I have a hankering for some maple syrup.
Yeah, we were out at an event here in San Antonio with a local rum group.
Oh.
Which is why I was a little late getting back from downtown.
Syrup?
And so we're over we actually went to the friend of ours house that we went with, and because I told Mike, hey, I got a podcast tonight with the Sith Dominion, and he's like, that's cool. If we run late and we get to our place and you need to podcast from here, that's cool.
Oh my goodness.
So
that's
awesome. So we're running around and we're on location. We're just hopping all over the place.
Do we need an affiliate partner? We'd love to partner with a rum rum seller.
We might be able to make that happen.
I love it.
Might have met a couple people.
I mean, 19 Crimes hadn't got back to me yet, so you know.
I'll let you know.
Kat, welcome to the show. We got all kinds of stuff we're going to be talking about with you later with the GNN and now Feast of Fandom. So we're excited to talk about that. But hold up. We had two weeks, maybe 2 weeks without Cam. And Cam, seeing your shiny face back on the show, it gives me so much joy because I know it's going to just make it that much more interesting. Cam, where you been? What have you been doing?
As in toxic, probably.
100%.
No, man, I just been busy with work and the other softballs back up and just trying to make it all happen. Glad to be back though.
Things that you enjoy that don't require you to sit at a computer again for hours.
Yeah. I mean, I like being here more than most of the other things I do. So
awesome. Debbie, how was your week? You sound better.
Oh, I still have my cough, but
yeah, but you're not James Earl Jones in it. So.
No, but I kind of would have liked to have had that for as a honor and whatever. But
sure.
And I did have 3 tacos for supper, so
nice.
There you go, Taco Tuesday.
Heck yeah. I don't know. I started moving it to Tequila Tuesday. So
I have no tequila.
Zane, how was your
Tuesday?
Oh, I know how your weekend was. Yeah. So Zane came down and we went to the Comic-Con. He came to watch Drunk Shakespeare. And anyone listening that has seen me perform knows, like, I take it like more serious than I should. Like, I hard on myself, learn my lines. It's just community theater, no big deal. But come on. And so I think, what was the total out of my 75 lines?
You missed. I think it was 20.
No, I think it was
23?
like 16. I think it was
No,
16.
no. Oh, you want me to bring up the calculator? Okay, well,
You have
yeah, I calculated it. Yeah, you were at 23.
Oh my god! So we were at, I have never, and saying see me and shit, like I feel like, hey guys, go watch something else because I don't suck that bad. I promise. I'll tell you what happened. It was just new audio. It was just excuse after excuse for why I kept missing them. But I'll tell a funny bit from the beginning. We were about halfway through Act 1. And the other actor I was interacting with had dropped his little play knife, and he yelled as loud as he can, "Fuck the F word," and everyone, of course, laughs. It's drunk Shakespeare, and I got lost. Where is my line? Where am I? So I called for line midway through the first act, like scene 1. It was terrible, and the director yells, "You're not even drunk yet." And my response, "I know," because I knew this was bad. This was that's how it started. And it actually, I did the second half after intermission. I did way better. But yeah, anyhow,
Two less in the first half.
Yeah, two less.
Which is kind of crazy because you actually knew more of the first half than the second half.
Oh, that was the thing. We ran through lines before the show, and there was a handful I struggled with. Anyways, I doubt I'll get asked back. If I do, awesome, and I'll give it my all, but I'm not expecting a callback.
So the trick is pregame. You were so nervous in the first half, you forgot your lines.
So, but last time, if you recall, I discussed this on the show. I did pregame. I did during the first half, and then after intermission, I don't remember a thing. So I didn't want to get to that point again. And they were giving me beer at first, and I'm drinking these pints of this, special brew, whatever. I'm full. I'm not tipsy. I'm full. Like, give me shots. Okay, I didn't say that out loud. Just kidding. I don't want shots all the time. Okay. Y'all can see this too now. That's cool. Y'all can see each other. Oh. But yeah, we had a great time this weekend visiting a lot of folks too at Comic-Con. So we heard about a Comic-Con coming up in San Antonio also. Is that true? Space Con? Is that?
I was about to say, which one you talking about? Because we got like 4 coming up.
Space Con, I think is the one we were looking at, right, Zane?
I don't know. It had like a lot of Star Wars actors.
So there's Space Con. There's also Big Texas Comic Con coming up. Both of them are coming up in October.
I think it's Space Con.
Yeah, Space Con, I think, if I remember correctly, I want to say they've got several Star Wars, several Star Trek. Unfortunately,
Shatner's going to be there.
I think there have also been a couple that have, of the original actors that have recently, due to other scheduling conflicts, unfortunately won't be able to make the convention. They've recently posted like those cancellations too, which, I mean, with any good sized convention that happens, as you get closer, sometimes conflicts come up. So
sure. Cool. Well, we met a bunch of folks and spoke with some folks and shared our message of Sithiness. And I think we're going to try to have some of these vendors on. I had mentioned in pre-show going through the video I'm about to play, just showing some costumes and stuff, some cosplay, sorry. Yeah, some of these vendors make some really cool stuff or import some really cool stuff or whatever. And so we'll get them on and talk with them about Star Wars and their wares and stuff, like Shield Maiden and such. Yeah. Okay. Except for where's my video? Here we go. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Oh, there's more of us now. You found the One Piece.
Was that one of the Mando Merc clans?
Yeah.
Kenny James.
Voice of Bowser. Oh.
We're gonna get this cat on. He was wearing that A&M Mando armor. Well then, Pokemons.
That was the most creepy looking Onyx I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We're gonna get these folks. They're actually from Anderson, Texas, out in West Texas.
Andrews.
Andrews, sorry, not Anderson. Andrews.
So I was like, Anderson, like down the road?
Yeah, right. There's a light whip that they have too. It's pretty cool. It makes all the sounds and whatnot. It's
You know. They almost sold me one.
you
was
you were
close.
like, I cannot walk past there anymore. Can we please not walk past there again?
Oh, that's Jeff Kaplan, voice of Optimus Prime and
Jeff
one
Kaplan?
of the shows.
Neil Kaplan.
Neil Kaplan.
Yes.
Neil Kaplan.
Optimus Prime and yeah.
He did
Of
moderate
course, we had Bluey.
of M Bingo and Bingo in a car.
Oh yeah.
TSD.
Our big meet and greet that we splurged on. Please, for Pete's sake, leave me hanging. All right, yeah. I can't believe left me hanging like that. I'm like, dude, seriously. Yeah, right. She said, "Go ahead." So it's
So we're actually over at a friend's house that is rather a connoisseur of maple syrup, and so yeah, this is their office space, not mine. And remember, you're only an alcoholic if it's a problem.
That's right.
So if you like accept it,
Only if someone sees you.
No, like I said, only if it's a problem. Like, I mean, from what I learned from science, alcohol's the solution.
Exactly.
Syrup.
Clean
That's
you.
what I said.
It'll
said it
clean
would
your
look
life
like
up.
maple syrup. Steve Palpatine. Yeah, I'm like, totally looks like maple syrup.
I think Andrew had a great question.
What was his question? Although this is cool too. I mean, and timely.
It's a different kind of party than Diddy.
Oh, okay.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party, man.
It's apparently not. It'll last with you. How tall am I? 6'1". That's not very tall. Cam, you're like 6'2", right?
No,
You're
or
like taller than me.
no, I'm like
Must be
6
nice.
foot on a good day.
Must be nice.
Sorry, Zane. You might still grow some.
It's all right, Zane. Don't feel bad. I'm 5'5.5" on a good day.
That's I maybe got an inch on that. Maybe.
So, Zane, what you need to do is you need to move to San Antonio. And
I'm
I
right
say
here.
that because when I first moved to Texas, there's always that joke about, like, is everything bigger? And I had to explain, no, it's the people are smaller. It's a matter of perspective. Because if I put on high heels here in San Antonio, people look at me like I'm an Amazon woman.
So I
This
should
is
put on
true.
high heels and walk around San Antonio.
get lifted
I'd
boots.
fit right in.
Lifted
Oh,
boots.
you would fit
cowboy
right
boots,
in.
A little bit of a lift. You're good to go.
Goodness gracious.
I think Diddy had more than what Cat's got in the background.
I think so.
Steve Palpatine.
And I don't know that everything Diddy had was legal.
Did he do it?
Did he
I'm
do
not
it?
saying everything in this
Bro.
world is legal. I mean, I'm
God,
just
man.
saying.
Oh my goodness. So no, College Station Comic Con was super fun. Listening, we sat in on the panel for Kenny James, and also Neil. Dang it, Optimus Prime. What? Not Peter Cullen Prime. The other Prime. What's Neil Kaplan?
Neil Kaplan.
And it was great. We were in. Can I tell this story? Why not? No one's watching. So Neil Kaplan, we're watching, and these people sat behind us, and they were chatting. Like you could barely hear him as it was, and he just stopped what he was doing, and he was like, "I'm sorry. Is there something that like calls them out like in the?" And I'm like, "Dude, if they go." Start swinging, I'm the one that they're gonna hit. I'm right here. Don't upset them. But he totally he smacked them down.
But
Told them
it was
quiet.
funny though. Like it wasn't even like anything like crazy
Yeah, it wasn't like he was being like belligerent.
It was just like one of those teachers that just like, okay, I'll wait.
Yeah. No, go ahead, finish. It was fun. No, but he talked a lot about and I wanted to talk about this because it's what we speak about a lot. Cam makes a big point of this, is that we love we love our movies, we love our story, we love our lore, we love all of this, right? And if you're coming into this world as an actor or voice actor or writer, director, what have you, like be cognizant of what you're stepping into. And he told this story about the first time he voiced that he was going to be voicing Optimus, and someone had asked him, "Oh yeah, that's awesome. Are you going to say roll out?" And he was like, maybe. Why? Like, he was clueless. He didn't know roll out was the way, like, this is Optimus's thing. And so he said it and said it again and made sure he said it every single time, to the point that the director was like, "What are you doing? That's not in the script." The director was not familiar either. He told the story to the director. The director said, "Then yes, we have to keep it in." So I think if this was being approached, our acolyte or the acolyte, etc., was approached in that way, like maybe it would have been a little different. In that to understand the impact that you can have on the fans by something so small, what seems small and trivial. I don't know. What y'all's thoughts? Because Cam, you bring this up about protecting that IP from a fan standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, it would take people at Lucasfilm to, I don't know, be aware, be open to ideas, let their actors that maybe care a little bit more about the character and or IP that they're participating in, let them have a voice, and I don't know, just be a little bit more self-aware, be a little bit more humble in the fact that maybe there are things, because the writers and some producers and directors, I mean, they have a hard enough job as it is trying to tie all this together. I mean, they're probably going to miss some things, but I think having, passionate people on set that care about what they're participating in makes all the difference, more than somebody that's in there to get a check.
Yeah.
Or push a message, but we can talk about that another day.
In the After Dark. Yeah, After Dark, guys. After Dark, the last couple nights have been long,
really good,
and deep. And what I said on my TikTok, like, that was exactly what we were talking. I stopped talking in After Dark to do that TikTok. So that's for real, man. Come get that Discord. Sign up for your social, or come follow us on a social. DM us on that social and let us know you're following us, and we'll shoot you the Discord. We will be releasing that Discord here in the next probably what is today? So like October, probably October 1st or somewhere in there. It'll go out to everyone. It'll be on our link tree. So you
it's not a Diddy party.
It's not a Diddy party. No. I love that. I love the rat comment. Hold on a second. Where was that? Oh, there you go. Steve Palpatine killing it. I like that Zane dressed like he's a roadie for rat. What I don't think you get, and probably because you only see him here, is that that's how he dresses. like 100. Unless he's performing, he might have some pearl snaps kicking. But outside of that, and a cowboy hat as opposed to a cap. But that's just
also there was a mosquito.
Oh, okay, that's what that was.
I mean, what's wrong with being a roadie for rat?
There's nothing wrong with being a roadie for rat.
I mean, y'all aren't.
No.
Oh my goodness. All right. Let's talk a little bit more about some. I didn't pull up the fan poll. What we started talking about. Actually, no. Let's do this first. Let's do the cat discussion first. Feast of Fandom. Change the ticker. Feast of Fandom. Change the ticker.
Feast. I'll wait until you say it right, actually.
Oh, Feast singular of fandoms plural. Yes,
whoa.
thank you.
That's
of
crazy.
fandoms.
I know. Look at how magical that is. Like,
Look
he
at
used
that.
the
You say it
Force.
right.
Yeah.
Wait, is Janae?
Whoa, how did that happen?
Oh.
Oh, she's not there. Never
Oh.
mind. Oh. That was awesome when she appeared last time we did that. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's talk about that because we've talked a little bit real quick about just that, GNN has run had a great influence on a lot of fandoms and just things moving in a different direction, moving on. And I'm so excited for you all that you're gonna stay kind of as a conglomerate mostly too. That's exciting. So, Kat, yeah, man, take it away.
Well, yeah, like you touched on, Geek News Now, unfortunately, they're going to be sunsetting in October. And as a result of that, one, we're all people who have worked together for 4 or 5 years, some of us, and we love, as fans, we love talking about what we're passionate about. So whether it's Star Wars or Marvel or Doctor Who, Lord of the Rings, we still want to have a home for that. And, the saying goes, it sounds kind of cheesy, teamwork makes the dream work. So when the news came out that Geek News Now was going to be sunsetting, some of us were like, hey, I mean, there are people that were still very passionate about what we've been doing. And the best part about it is sometimes doing it as a conglomerate or a collaborative can actually, I mean, not only does it keep building those friendships we all already have and give us those options to cross promote shows, not just our own shows, not just those of our friends, but it gives us still that collaborative environment and people's brains to pick about fandoms.
Mm-hmm.
And being in this kind of group, it still gives us that option to cover as many geek fandoms as we want, right? Like you said, your passion is the Sith side of Star Wars. I'm like a browser with too many tabs open. Like, I have more fandoms than I can count. If you asked me, like, so, like, what's your fandom? I'd be like, here's my, like, Santa's naughty list of fandoms.
Nice.
But one thing a lot of us also know is not everybody has that, like, those local people that they can talk about their fandoms with.
Mm-hmm.
So really the goal is to build, like, a community where people can come in and talk about their fandoms. They can post about their fandoms. They can talk with us in our podcast about them. So we're going to be bringing in, we currently have MCU Mondays that some of you are familiar with Geek News Now is going to be coming over. Their first episode is going to be next Monday.
Nice.
This Thursday is actually going to be our very first live podcast with Cantina Happy Hour.
Nice.
Then Saturday, we're going to have the Geek Gauntlet coming on. We have a new DC show in the works that will be coming out a little bit later. Probably before October, maybe beginning of October, but somewhere in the next few weeks. And right now we're really just kind of doing a soft launch. Like, that way we can work out the bugs and kind of create the best products possible for the fans.
Sure.
But we also want to get into more anime. Janae and I are talking about doing a kind of a quirky, different little kind of cooking show.
Nice.
That is anime based. So yeah, that's what we're all about. We are here, of course, on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We're on Threads as well. Or as I refer to it as Happy Twitter.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Threads. What?
Yeah.
That's
Well, I mean,
from
if you
Insta?
have,
No.
yeah, if you have
Yeah.
Instagram, you have Threads. Yeah.
Here, right down here.
Yeah, right there. So yeah, so we're starting to get some of our content out there. I don't want to say it's slow going just because we are doing a soft launch, but we are getting content out there so that way, everyone can follow us and be kind of entertained and like chime in on those posts about what you want to see, like what kind of fandoms are you into? Because like we said, we really want it to be a community and not just necessarily always be about what we're into. We want to hear about it from everybody else too.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. I'm real excited that all those shows are continuing. That there was no one that was like, I'm done. Because they're so fun. I pop in when I can and listen for as long as I can. it's so fun to listen to and be involved and engaged, like what happens over here too. So, Kat, I wish nothing but the best, and I think me moving the show in a little bit different direction, I think keeping our partnership just expands the people we collectively get to see and be involved with. And I say that in a thank you way, because when you shared with your group the new Feast of Fandoms, see, I did it. Magically, we bumped to like 95. We're like 5 away from 100. You guys already went over 100 on Facebook, which means you can broadcast Facebook live. So thank you for cross promoting. Certainly, we do the same for you guys, and we're collectively in the minority in the world, so we got to stick together, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, and really, like we said, it's part of the community. So, you were there, you built those relationships with us in GNN as well. Like you need those 5 more, give me a minute. I'll throw out some invites. We'll get you there. Because really, I mean, that's really what it should be all about. Kind of like you guys were kind of talking like, hey, maybe these producers need to be more aware of their content.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Hey, sometimes as the fans, maybe we need to celebrate our content more, the content we get more, rather than looking for it to be bad. I mean, sometimes it is just unforgivably bad, but sometimes we need to not be looking for it to be a dumpster fire.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right. I always pick on Cam, but I mean, all of us were like, let's see it, let's go. Regardless of what was said in the pre-tour for the Acolyte, which kind of left a little sourness to begin with, but we were giving it a shot, an honest freaking shot. We were wanting something good. So I think you're right. If we collectively as fans are like, okay, I hope this is good. This should be good. Please be good. Not this is probably going to be bad. I think you're right. It does kind of change the tone, right? But historically, what are you supposed to go off of? What are you supposed to feel? What is it that in, let's say, is there going to be any writing or piece to this, or is it just mostly podcast based?
I am hoping to bring a blog in.
Mm-hmm.
I am still researching some of those options. Just to kind of figure out the best way to do it, because another thing too is like you guys, y'all are sitting here hanging out in your Sith Dominion merch. I want to make sure that whatever platform we set up, because I want it to be easy for the fans, right? Like no one likes to here. You're gonna go here for our blog, and you're gonna go over here to buy our merch, and you're gonna go over here. No, like so yeah. So I'm still doing some research as kind of like what the best options are gonna be for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting the ball rolling with our show.
I lost her. Is it me?
No, it was me. I bumped the button. So yeah, so it's gonna be we're hoping to get that going. It's just not there yet because I'm still looking at what's gonna be the best option to provide the best experience for the fans. And so with that, we are starting with more like the podcast side, but not all of our shows are going to be live. Some of them are going to be pre-recorded. But yeah, so yeah, we're going to start building that content and then start building out the blogs and things of that nature from there.
Awesome. I can't believe Andrew would want to make me angry again, but yeah. So if you didn't hear, you're just joining. This wonderful merch cannot be purchased yet and may never be purchased ever again.
Oh, sorry. I just got to stretch here.
So copyright's a terrible thing.
You gotta ask Kathleen for permission, Andrew. She's probably not going to give it to you, though.
Yeah, but what did we end up with? So we got a cap, a couple of T-shirts, a couple of hoodies, and then a tank. That's all we got now. But Debbie, I got her shipped right to her front door, man. She was so excited.
No, we'll talk about this after the show.
Oh, how and what and where and why? Yeah, I'll show you. I'll tell you. Really cool setup for those of you in that world that you can connect this store to all of your outlets. A lot of them do that. But like, especially with TikTok, like that's a tough one to get into, but this works. So It's cool. Anyway, what's MySpace? I know, right? So, that was funny. MySpace. Okay, I'm gonna go around the room here. We're gonna talk about just real quick a little bit about Empire Strikes Back. Now, we all are from different points of the timeline of human history, and so we all experienced this at different points in our life. The Empire Strikes Back. So, in general, we'll have lore time and whatever else here in a bit. But in general, Empire Strikes Back, I want to know 3 things. 1, where does it rank in your list of Star Wars movies? 2, why is it ranked there? And 3, what was your favorite moment? I'll give you a moment to think about it. I don't even know what those are. I haven't really thought about it, but I know I want those 3 things. Where it's ranked in your list, what was great and why about it, and then what's that one memorable moment? That's what I'm saying, Steve Palpatine. Steven, get him. I don't see Cat take one. I know, right? I'm telling you. All right. So while we're doing this, we'll do a quick commercial for 19 Crimes. This is the, yes, Halloween is out, baby. We have the new 19 Crimes bottles with the new blends. This is the Bride of Frankenstein, and I have Frankenstein in my wine refrigerator for next week. Okay, time's up, folks.
Okay.
All right. Who wants to go first? Okay, Zane, you blinked.
Yeah,
I'll
go first. I'll go first.
Where is it ranked? Why is it ranked there? And what's your favorite part?
So for me, it ranks number 2 out of all 7, 8 movies.
Okay.
9
movies.
This is because 8. This is because honestly, Revenge of the Sith is one of my all-time favorites. It was my generation Star Wars movie, so it's there's no way Empire can beat it. That being said, I think Empire is the best out of the other ones. You know, it has everything we need, minus a giant weapon that's going to destroy everything. You know, and I think that was perfect. I think it's what we needed. We got a break from, especially when you're looking back on it now, we got a good break from that giant weapon. We got a good break. I mean, we go back to it later on. But I mean, and it had a lot of character progression, which was amazing. You know, the first one took place in 5 days, and apparently Luke just knows how to use the Force now. This one, though, shows real character progression. It shows him being trained, right? Yeah. It shows more of Han and Leia and their relationship going together. We learn more about Han with Lando, right? Obviously the big twist was a lot. You learn a little more about Luke, and that's actually you said which one? 3 was what is your favorite scene? And I think most of y'all probably share the same thing, and it's going to be the battle between Luke and Vader.
Yeah.
You know, the reveal of it, Vader being Luke's father was huge. You know, the whine that Mark Hamill puts out, just as big for different reasons. That's why, yeah.
It's terrible. That's good. Yeah, I don't think I disagree with anything. I'm not wholly on board. Did this mofo just say
yes? Yes. You can fight me on it.
Look at he's standing by.
Better visuals, better soundtrack.
Magnesium.
Fight scene was more impactful to the story.
It was good. Well, so you didn't know. Like the first time you see that, you don't know, right? That's coming. Yeah. And fair. We knew it was coming in RTS. All right. Who wants to give another shot? I'm dying.
I mean, if we're on the road of disappointing the audience, let me go ahead and go.
Let's do this.
100%. Do it.
So I would say I would have to rank it like number 3 of my favorites. Probably my favorite scene was the Battle of Hoth.
Yeah.
Because of the way the AT-ATs went down.
Yeah.
That is classic. That's like classic strategy right there. What was the other part? Rank it. Favorite scene.
Why is it ranked where it's at?
Why is it ranked? Okay, so there's no Ewoks.
Amen.
And Ewoks are the most vicious creatures in the Star Wars universe.
They are.
They are. There also was no Jar Jar Binks. So I did not have enough comedic relief to rank it higher. So
Where is it?
So that's why it got 3.
Well, there's all kinds of stuff happening in the chat, folks. There is some disagreement. So, Kat, you are clearly had the clairvoyance to know what was about to happen with
yeah, I knew. My first rodeo, y'all. I said it. Yeah.
All right. And it's important to understand these different generational pieces play into where it's ranking. It really does. Cam.
And she's not a part of TSD. She's Feast of Fandoms. So, I mean, if you're going to lose a subscriber on TSD, it could be Feast of Fandoms, not, because that's... I put it at number 2. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Steve Palpatine, it will make it much more enjoyable, 100%. Yeah. Cam, what do you got, man? ESB.
I mean, it'll probably be number 1 for me. Favorite scene, probably when Luke cuts off Vader's helmet and I really like the entire Dagobah sequence in general. But that's probably top scene for me. It's ranked as high as it is for me because I watched the original trilogy in a weekend with my stepdad on VHS, and that was the one where, the good guys lose, my hero loses, and I just find out that this evil man or this evil creature, whoever it is in a suit, is my hero's father. How is that? My 7-8-year-old brain's just like just being thrown for just an absolute loop, and I have a lot of special memories just with that movie in general. So, but it's the best one of the OT for me. I mean, Jedi's up there too. That's my favorite, and I think the best version of Luke that we get. So, but Empire will always be number 1 for me.
Tune in next week. We have ROTJ as our show. We'll have a guest on the show. I think it's it's Andrew, right? Andrew, I think, is on the show next week as well.
Can be.
And we'll be talking about ROTJ. It is my favorite. It is absolutely a piece of art.
Hey, Andrew, look, brother, you got to stop spreading misinformation in the chat. I mean, I love to spread misinformation myself occasionally, but this is just too much. You cannot
Andrew's
be lying.
Getting destroyed in After Dark. This is what's happening.
You cannot be lying to anyone in chat. Everyone, timestamp. Where's time? 38:40 is not true. Andrew's spreading misinformation in the chat.
But I saw it on the internet.
That movie
I saw it on the internet.
That movie is garbage. It's better than Rise of Skywalker, but it's garbage. I hate it.
I don't know about that, Chief.
It makes my insides hurt and makes me very sick.
But might give me alcohol poisoning.
Oh my God!
You heard it here,
folks. No, it's not.
Folks. Cam likes The Last Jedi.
All right, Andrew, I'm going to make another drink. This is what you did,
Debbie. Where is it ranked? Why is it ranked there? And what's your favorite scene? He just left. Did he really just walk off? You just.
You went to go make a drink.
Way to go, Andrew.
ESB is tied for me with ROTC or ROTS. Of course, I'm from the generation who watched it live in the theater, and the collective gasp that happened when Vader revealed who he was I mean, I still have vivid memories of that. I mean, not only was my jaw on the floor, but everybody's jaw was on the floor. Nobody was expecting that. The reason it's tied for number one for me, I just watched it this weekend and it still made me laugh. It was a serious movie, but yet it had the right amount of banter. And I love the banter. Especially Han and Leia. I love it. It's still funny.
Andrew, if I would say F you for that comment, but I won't.
Yeah, he's got a point. He's got a great point.
Debbie just did secret to you.
Really, I mean, he makes a valid argument though.
Well, hold up. Andrew's on a roll, and I don't think he knows what's coming. So it's okay. Cam is still not back, but I hear something sharpening. Just kidding. So it's his wit. That was terrible. Yeah, you're gonna have to hear me out. I'll get to it. Well, I guess it is my turn.
What's up there, buddy? What's up, brother?
So it is.
What's up, brother?
It's number 3 for me. ESB. It's number 3. ROTJ is number 1. ROTS is number 2, and
Exactly.
ESB is number 3. And
Oh,
I'm not
whoa.
going to go into the whole. We talked about why I love so much the Revenge of the Sith. We've talked about that before, but why is ESB third? Because there is just more that I connected with in the other two. I did not connect with the end scene of, I'm your father. No, like I couldn't, like it was too much maybe when I watched. I was like 8 or whatever, it was too much to absorb, and I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it, on television or whatever, when they would do the Sunday night movies or that's when I got to finally watch it. And I just remember thinking, if that was in fact, I doubted. I was like, if that's really his dad, why would he want to kill him? Like I don't know. As a little kid, I couldn't wrap my head around it. And I mean, Debbie, you're only like 3 years older than me or so. So but you were probably at that point for sure old enough to remember what it was like seeing that and feeling that on film and being able to connect at that age.
I was 15 when that came out.
Yeah. So this is what I said. Like I was like 8 or something. So I mean, yeah, I get it. Or actually, I was 6. Never mind. Yeah,
We didn't
I
have
didn't
enough
watch it
teenage
till I
angst
was
to want to
8.
kill our fathers yet.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch it 8mm. I don't think so, Tim. No, I think that's my favorite, and that's why there's a lot of the internal struggle with Luke and trying to find himself. That was the piece, Zane. I remember now. How long did he train on Dagobah? That's what I wanted to know from lore tonight. I don't recall what that was.
It was a few days.
Yeah, I remembered it was like not a week. I think it was just a couple of days. But anyhow, what?
There's no way, right?
No way.
10 weeks.
Wow.
Really?
What are they going to say now?
That's like
Damn it.
actual training.
Damn it, Cam. Every
Oh,
time,
but now
every
this
corner,
source is like
I
2
keep
weeks.
saying. Then
I'd
I
give
swear he's a Mary
Anywhere
Sue.
between half a month to 2 months.
Okay.
It's one of those like Star Wars just up for debate. How long were these events taking? Who knows, man?
Regardless, 2 weeks is still a lot more than 5 days.
So, I'm with you. Where the scene where he knocks Vader's head off, and it's him inside. For me, that was it's a toss-up. It's that or the hallway scene where he is flat out he's gonna flat out kill Luke. You think? I mean, he's just going nuts, destroying the hallway as he's swinging at Luke, which we see in several other movies that Anakin Skywalker and or Darth Vader do, which I think is a great piece of continuity. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So that scene, those two scenes, but it's that internal conflict that I'm such a fan of that causes growth, right? The internal conflict of Luke, of in the beginning of that movie, knowing he needs to stay and help his friends, but then that he also needs to train, so he goes off, and then he comes back, and he's the point is.
But
I could
why?
relate to
But
that
why
part.
does he leave Dagobah, Dana? Why does he leave?
Because he thinks he knows better because he's a young whippersnapper and he's going to go save his friends.
But also, why does he leave?
Because he
wants to save his friends.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he is compassionate.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because he loves them.
All right. Thank you.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right. I just wanted to ask.
I know where you're going. So
I'm not going nowhere. I was just asking a question.
I'm just forming the hill I'm dying on, Dana. You got this.
Amen, brother. I'm
I
not getting
lied
off
earlier. I was almost 17 when that came out.
Oh, it was 81, right?
80.
80.
Debbie doesn't know her own lore.
I just don't know my own age. That's the problem.
To not being a lore master of your own life.
Debbie needs her own lore master to help her know her own lore.
I'm not doing that.
Hey, when you
I
get
got
to
Star
be
Wars
this
in the boat.
age, it all just blends in. You don't know what's
That
going
makes it sound
on.
like Smithsonian's calling in the next couple weeks. Come on. No.
They should be.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I think there's a lot in ESB from just a pure storytelling perspective that's really beautiful. The love story that starts to develop, of course, between Han and Leia, the maturity that starts to happen within Luke, where he starts to feel the pull of the Force, and Vader, throwing a monkey wrench in and saying, "Join me." The Emperor didn't anticipate that. And we'll talk about that stuff later. So thanks for that piece. I think hearing you guys really gets me all excited to talk more about Empire. So let's talk about that. So there were 3 things that occurred. Luke Skywalker left his training and went to Cloud City to save his friends. Darth Vader told his son that he was his father, and Lando Calrissian flipped on the Empire. Those 3 things, just sitting back watching the movie, I came up with these 3 things as I don't know which, if any, the Emperor may have foreseen or anticipated. And so that's kind of the first bit of what we're going to talk about from the dark side here. Those 3 things occurred and had a very significant impact, each one of those events, on the film, the lore, like the story progressing. So yeah, what are y'all's thoughts of those 3? Luke's arrival and just being there on Bespin, Cloud City, Vader telling Luke, or Lando flipping on the Empire. Which of those do you think, or if any, that the Emperor did not foresee?
I mean, I think the first 2 are pretty logical. I think that was kind of the whole point of Luke seeing those visions. But I mean, I would say they all, in terms of the Emperor's omnipotence, does he really know that they're using Lando as, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I think the first 2 are pretty, Palpatine could see those coming, I would imagine.
Take it easy, Andrew. We'll see you in After Dark.
See you, brother.
Yeah, I don't. It's tough because we don't know the mind. We don't know what he saw, but we know he had some clairvoyance in this. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting question to ask because I don't know that we've considered the fact, as you stated, his omnipotence or his ability to see in the future or manipulate the future. Were the voices that or the images that Luke was seeing on Dagobah that was distracting him from his training, was that implanted by the Emperor?
It's kind of the same thing as the Palpatine visions too, and Revenge of the Sith with Anakin.
You know?
Yeah, and that was kind of where I was thinking too, is with the Emperor, he has that level of power.
Yeah.
And at that point, if their goal is to try and get Luke to turn to the dark side, but they know that he's going the Jedi route, it would make sense to get the visions in his head and then put him in a situation where he has to fight Vader, who he's been taught is this ultimate evil, and then learn that that is his father. Because, I mean, let's face it, Luke didn't know his dad. So, but they're still kind of betting on a wild card there. Because Luke not knowing his father, or being told his father was dead, doesn't necessarily mean that when he finds out Vader's his father, that that's going to be something that's going to make him turn.
Right.
But for once, I'm going to have to say I agree with Cam that I think probably the Lando turning on everybody was probably the one thing they didn't foresee.
Yeah. So I believe strategically, I think you're right. I think of those three, the most plausible is Lando. But the Empire, specifically Vader, had the wherewithal to make sure the hyperdrive was still deactivated. So that goes back for me when I see some of the prequel stuff, specifically Clone Wars, where you really get to understand or see the development of Anakin as a strategist, as a military strategist, right? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? That maybe he was using some level of clairvoyance to know they may escape, and so we need to. And does that make that tandem more deadly? Palpatine and Vader. I don't know. With the meal. Can we talk about that real quick? I know I'd asked that question, but we're gonna sidebar real quick. So the meal. What was the point and purpose of the meal?
Betrayal. Like, straight up. That it's even like shows like Game of Thrones, like people get invited to like a big giant feast just to be slaughtered.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Vader thought they were actually going to eat and not shoot at him when they first opened the door. You know,
Like, that's
maybe
a
he was.
reasonable-
Did anyone think about his feelings?
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
bro was trying to feed him. I mean, there's a good guy in there somewhere. Maybe.
Maybe Vader had low blood sugar that day. I don't know. You know,
He was
people
just
were
trying to give him like a meal, like, yeah, you're kidnapped, but like, I'm gonna be nice about it.
Yeah, I mean, they shot at him first. I mean,
I mean, Han shoots first.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. No, we're
Uber
correcting
Eats
that
dropped
shit
off too
right
much
now.
food. We might as well eat it.
Stop. In the original theatrical release, Greedo never got a shot off. There is no shooting first. The truth is, and you guys have been is blown by you in some bullshit Mandela effect something. Look, Han did not shoot first. Han shot.
Han
Period.
shot first, brother.
End of story. He just shot. Boom. There was only one shot. So because there was only one shot, or are you saying because now it's been edited to make it a first shot that now canonically Han shot first or second?
I mean, he shot first, bro. It's the canon. I don't know what you.
Is that
Yeah,
what
I can't recall anything where Greedo shot first.
No,
honestly.
no,
Yeah.
there is no right. And my problem is the word first. Okay, like stop saying first because there is no like you have a second shot if there's a first. If there's a first, there's a second. No,
Okay,
no.
what are you, my dad?
Han shot Greedo.
Zane,
That's
what
it.
did Han shoot?
Greedo.
He shot his gun, I think.
Han
first,
shot
but-
Greedo
So-
in
Yeah,
the face.
Yeah.
I was going
Han
to say,
shot
if you're
first.
going off of like space western, because really Star Wars is a space western. So in westerns, you have to consider the tall tale effect.
Whoever shoots first.
So if Han Solo shot, by the time the bar stories made it to Vader, Han shot first and somebody else got a shot off somewhere else, he's just going to assume that Han's going to shoot first.
Exactly.
Amen.
Okay, I got all emotional about 6 months ago on this show about Han, and they did him dirty. Okay,
Amen,
the
brother.
fact that he shot Greedo, just I bet you would. That was effing awesome. I wanted to be that guy that was so cool. He could just like, I know you're gonna try to haul me in, but I'm just not feeling it today,
So I'll just
and
kill
you'll
you.
never feel again. I think
you-
there was something.
Are
to
you
that.
gonna
That
ignite
sounds
your
like a
son's
psychopath.
lightsaber into your abdomen as well because you know he needs to kill you?
100% not. He was.
I
You'll
think I
have to
got one
chase me
somewhere.
and find me. I'm not,
I don't know I know
Mm.
what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Yeah, well, suck it up, Buttercup, and figure your own shit out, because you ain't
Shout
coming
out
over
Adam.
here and have me do it for you.
Shout out
Absolutely.
Adam Driver, man. You did a great
Amen.
job, brother. You did a great job, brother.
Amazing actor.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So anyway, getting back, I digress. I
Ew.
that is a pet peeve of mine. And him whipping out his blaster to shoot at Vader, 100%. He's a scoundrel. Like that's 100% what he would do. My thing with that meal was, what was he trying to? He always has the flair for the dramatic, right? Anakin Vader. So do you think that was more of a display, or that was what I was kind of getting at with the question. What's the point and purpose of this? I don't think it was just to have a meal.
Lando could have made the meal too. You know what I mean? From what I'm reading in Legends right now, it seems like Lando really likes making meals, especially for Mara Jade, at least in the book that I'm reading.
Yeah.
So, could have been Lando's idea. Vader was just there.
Yeah.
Also,
Mix of
could the
both.
meal have been there as like in the event that Vader got delayed? So, hey, let's sit down
Ooh,
here
smart.
and have this meal, and then all of a sudden, like, surprise guest, Vader walks in. But in this case, Vader was on time, but the meal was already laid out.
I didn't think about that.
I don't know.
Base take. I love it.
What? Oh,
I said that's a base take. I love it.
That's
Yeah.
a good take.
oh. So Lando, I think is if someone wants to pop over to I can't do it here because I'm live, but if you want to pop over to TikTok and see what that looks like, what the poll looks like.
That's me.
Let's talk about old Palpy. Or actually, oh no, we already did that. So yeah, Palpatine. He's shown for the very first time, right, in this movie. And we get a different Palpatine. We get Ian later on. I don't remember the actress's name who played the Emperor the very first cut of the movie. But when I close my eyes, like I am now, I'm literally imagining, and I don't see Ian McShane, not Ian McShane. That was different
Okay.
actor. I don't see, what's his name? Ian what? McDermott. Thank you. I see whoever this actor is. Like that's what I see, and I'm sure you too, Debbie. Like that's what you grew up with. No, you see
It's not
the
gonna work.
redo. Wow. Okay, what's the poll?
If I do that, oh, you see that?
I can't see. I can't.
Bottom
tell
one
what-
is Lando.
Lando's the most.
Yep,
I thought there were 3 options.
there are 2.
There's only 2.
Yikes.
Yeah.
TikTok only lets
Yikes.
you do 2.
Chat. Yikes.
So what were the 2 that were on the TikTok?
Vader. Something with Vader, and it cut off whatever you wrote.
Oh,
Vader
Vader
turning
to
hell.
Luke. Vader
And then Lando
informing
turns.
Luke.
Oh.
And then
Yeah.
Lando turns on the imps. Okay. Sorry about that, TikTok world. But I felt like Luke leaving and going. I don't know that the Emperor had they didn't plan on Luke Skywalker in A New Hope. We can agree, right? They didn't plan. I don't know. I don't know that the Emperor planned for it, man. I think Vader secretively was working this angle. And I think Vader secretively dropped that secret. I do not believe for anything that Palpatine 1 knew he was going to tell him, or 2 told him, like, yeah, go tell. Like, I don't think so.
Maybe
I wouldn't say. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe in terms of canon it could be disputed, but I mean, you got to think Vader happened to have a Star Killer, and Palpatine knew about him, even if he didn't say anything. Like,
Yes.
Palpatine knows, and especially when someone like Anakin, that he's had his greedy little fingers in the entire time. I think he kind of knew Vader was gonna pop that question.
I don't know. I say this because of what we learn, and I unfairly in the next movie, that Palpatine did not sense that Luke had arrived on Endor, or the moon of Endor, because he says straight up, like, "Oh, I did not feel that," whatever. Funny, I did not. My son, oh, that's what it is. My son is with them. Funny, I did not feel that, or whatever. So I think Anakin maybe had his own, plan. Did I say Anakin? Sorry. Vader had his own plan to bring his son into the fold.
So I don't think Palpatine ever intended for Vader to walk away from that fight alive.
In
I
ESB?
think the thought was, if we can bring Luke here, who's trained under Yoda, if Luke kills his father, that will turn him to the dark side. Now, I don't think he ever intended on Vader telling him he was his father. He intended on him dying and somehow finding out that was his father, and then turning to the dark side based off the emotional decision he would make, just like his father did.
Yeah.
So it's less sneaky than like the Emperor being like, he. So Vader, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna lure your son in. Y'all are gonna fight, and I need you to tell him you was daddy.
Mm.
I don't think it was that. I think it was more like covert, like pulling the puppet strings, the way that the Emperor and Palpatine have always done with Anakin or Vader, however you want to look at him.
Yeah. Well, okay. So how about this? So Vader is there with Luke, and he's trying to get him later on in the movie, right? Doors are opening or whatever. He's messing with them, trying to get him where he needs to isolate him. But prior to that, Han Solo is being tortured. The Clone Wars Anakin Skywalker, would he have stood there and watched another human being tortured?
Human? Depends on what the human did. I mean, he tortured one of the slavers.
That's right.
Granted, it wasn't human; it was that alien race. But by principle,
what are you saying? What are you trying to say?
That the Empire's racist or xenophobic?
Yeah, the Empire was xenophobic. They've read a bunch of that stuff to make it not so bad, but it was. I mean, the Empire was the Empire for the reason. Like, they're the Empire, they're the Nazis. Like, this is like, we know this.
I was about to say, did you see those uniforms?
Yeah, I mean, we know
stormtroopers.
We know. You notice that this says the Sith Dominion, not the Empire. Now, my car may have an Empire logo, but that's whatever. So, Debbie, I'm working my way into Han because I think that's terrible. I'm never saying that again. Because I think
that's my line.
Oh my goodness. Because I mean, at 17, I mean, Harrison Ford was probably larger than life, right? I mean, he'd done Indy before Empire Strikes Back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first one he did.
Oh wait, no. Indy came out in 81, 82.
Right about the same time. Yeah, like a year later. You're right. Sorry. American Graffiti. Anyways, Harrison Ford at that time was a hunk of, how did you feel watching this occur to, like, we're talking dark side shit here. He's torturing him for no reason. Like, how did you feel when you saw that scene? Not just the whole Harrison thing. I mean, like, for real. Because, I mean, at 17, that had to have been impactful.
I mean, I wasn't happy about it, but I mean, there was a purpose of doing that. That was so that it would be projected into the Force and Luke would hear it.
Oh, my God. No way.
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
I don't know.
All right,
Who's the
Debbie's
Star
the new
Wars
host
fan
of the
now?
show. I'm giving up.
No, it's gonna be a Han Solo show then.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, we're getting Hayden and Han. It's the Double H show with Hayden and Han and Debbie. No,
Hayden and Han.
I didn't even consider that because that was some. When you hear him scream, it's hurts. Like it hurts. You know. he's
Well,
in some
because
pain.
Luke even said, I have to leave because my friends are being tortured.
My friends are in pain. You're exactly right. Holy crap! Wow.
See, with
So-
age comes wisdom. Sometimes, not all the time. Just it comes and goes with me.
Is that so? In the film, we see him losing his concentration and feeling them in pain after he's lopped the head off, right? Of
Mhm.
Vader. It's in that last training session before he goes ahead and packs up and leaves. I want to talk about kind of what leads to that moment. So, the cave, the dark side cave on Dagobah. The irony is not lost on me that Yoda, who failed miserably at defeating Palpatine and couldn't see past his own pride to know some shit was going down. We've talked about that on the show. Ends up on a planet that has some dark side leanings to it, and in effect has a cave that's just sickly dark side. So I don't want to say the Force guided him to that spot. But I think it's ironic that he lands there. He's spent his whole life going against the dark side, and now he's on a planet that's full of it.
Well,
do
he
you guys
went
think
there
about that?
because it would hide him in the Force.
Correct.
Well,
So when he says
according-
to exile, like, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, according to legends, right? It actually the nexus on the dark side, the nexus on Dagobah was created when a little dark Jedi uprising happened when Yoda was still a Jedi Knight to Master, right? That little uprising failed. They escaped to Dagobah and actually died on that planet. So it could be also going back to maybe another failed thing or another. I don't know. All I know is it has to do with Yoda.
In the I know we see it in the Force Unleashed, but in the novelization of it, when Starkiller is walking to the cave and Yoda's sitting in front of it, he's like, in the game they just like pass by each other, but in the book, Starkiller like feels like the Nexus and how powerful it is, and he's like, who the fuck is this green guy sitting out in front of here being all weird? Because he's like, there's no way just a normal person's able to be around this all day. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, Yoda was. I don't know, man. I think given the right circumstance, and I don't want to be blasphemous here, but given the right circumstance, he would not have been a Jedi Master. He would have been a Sith.
Takes one bad day.
It does. I don't believe that about Kenobi. I don't think Kenobi could have turned the way Luke did. And I understand why Luke turned, but irrelevant. Obi-Wan would have never. Anyways, we're not talking about those shows. So we do get Obi-Wan in this show, though. We get Obi-Wan as the apparition, directing him where to go, right? Here's my question from the dark side point of view. Could Vader feel that sort of manifestation of the Force with Obi-Wan talking to Luke? Do you think he could feel that ripple in the Force? And maybe that's in the novelization. I don't know because I haven't read it.
I mean, maybe within range, he hears it in A New Hope, but I don't know what that range might be.
Oh, I got it.
Are we going to talk about the Kenobi series in the show? Okay.
Not in
We
this show.
haven't. I'm
could
thinking we should
eventually.
dedicate just one show to it because there is so much in there that
That's good. That is good. There is stuff that's good there.
there is some good stuff there. I think it really shows Anakin / Vader in a light that we hadn't seen before, unless you were in the video games and you see some of his ruthlessness, or read the books or comics and see his ruthlessness. I think we got to see some of that, and that was important. And we see it though in Empire.
I feel like
He's
they get
straight up-
Vader wrong
Go
in a large part of the Kenobi show, but that's just my opinion.
What was that? I missed the first part of that. What was that?
So I think they get Vader wrong in a lot of parts of the Kenobi show, but that's just my opinion.
I need to revisit that. That's what, 2 years old now? 3 years old?
Well, I think though, like to Cam's point though, like you're also the Kenobi series is a telling of it from Kenobi's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So where like some of the other films and shows are more, we want you to look at all the characters. When I was watching Kenobi, I definitely felt like it was a story being told from Ben Kenobi's perspective of things, not just like a telling of the characters.
Mm-hmm. Man.
I think that show's much more interesting without the Vader dynamic in it. Personally, if they change a lot of things and don't make him leave Tatooine, because he'd never do that. But
So would Vader have
show.
ever gone back to Tatooine in the first place? Honestly,
no, he doesn't. He's not going to.
He hates that place, man. We're gonna have to do a Kenobi
Doesn't he
episode.
go
I'm
back
sorry,
and
man.
kill Watto?
In
Like, I
the
feel like
He goes
in, like-
back to try and save his mother.
That's right.
does he kill Watto though? I don't
I
think.
thought he
No,
killed
he
Watto.
doesn't
Like,
kill Watto.
once he's Vader.
No.
As Vader, he kills Watto.
I don't know. I could be wrong. Hold on.
Okay, lore master, don't get us all confused here. We're gonna have
Somebody
to have the new
spewing
lore
misinformation. And I love it.
misinformation.
It's headcanon, guys.
Hey, brother, that's a large part of what we got.
Exactly.
So let's talk about kind of what happens here. So ultimately, we know that Luke gets his hand chopped off. He finds out he's told Vader is his father. He doesn't. I don't think he truly believes it yet. And that bullshit of father, shut up. You wouldn't. But then again, I don't have the Force flowing through me, so perhaps like when Pandora's box is opened and that has manifested the words of I am your father, that then he's able to, oh shit, it all makes sense and click from a Force perspective. I don't know. I'm asking the question. I mean, because he does, right? If I recall, I didn't watch it this last week, but he pops up from, his little medicine bed or his hospital bed and he's like, Father.
Mhm.
So does he reconcile that quick that, okay, yeah, I guess he's my dad?
Yep.
Because he can feel it.
Yep.
So in like 5 days or 2 months, that's still way more than Ray had.
A lot more.
Damn
Respectfully,
it, Cam. I
Daisy
hate it when
Ridley.
you're right. I hate it when you're right. Every time on this show that I try to tell Cam he's wrong,
No, bro, you're just trying to bash on my guy for no apparent
Hey,
reason.
it may
I don't
take
even,
a couple shows.
I don't
but
even hate on Ray like that, bro. I hate the movies. You're getting it twisted. Misinformation. Misrepresentation of facts.
Sorry about that.
What you got? R&B playing? What are we at a Diddy
that
party?
was Eris Corban calling me.
Oh,
So, but
That's my sister.
yeah, you want to ping her real quick? Make sure she's good.
Ping her.
I can't ping her with my phone. I don't
That's
wanna
called
be that guy.
messaging. That's called text messaging.
Oh yes.
But I can do
So
that.
no, I think when we look at Empire from that, I don't. Timelines are important. Okay. And I'm not harping on the Mary Sue thing anymore because
Yes, you are.
you proved me wrong on the Luke. I just feel like he didn't have a whole lot, but Ray had a lot.
In the first movie.
I want to go back to the cave before we wrap this part up. We collectively, each person at some point in their life, at least one time, has their cave moment. It's important that in storytelling, you tell things that people can relate to. Lucas is no exception. We know the power of myth. He bases tons of his stuff on tons of other things. And I believe truly that's one of them. That we all, at some point, are faced with some sort of conflict with our own inner demons. How big of a part did that cave play? The cave scene play, jumping forward to the Emperor's throne room in Return of the Jedi. Do you feel Luke reflected on that and other things before he threw down his lightsaber? That was one of the things he reflected on.
Yeah. I mean, it almost was like, that's one of the things I think Palpatine never counted on, was Luke experiencing something like that. It makes me wonder, I think if Luke didn't have that scene, he might have actually become a Sith. Like, he in those moments, you get quick to emotion and you make choices that are wrong. But he, because of this cave scene, has had time to prepare himself mentally for this idea, And I think he definitely goes over it in Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
I think his hand being cut off. I do think the Dagobah scene plays a part, but I think his hand being cut off is probably more significant in terms of the throne room scene, because before he throws his lightsaber away, what does he look at after he chops Vader's hand off? He looks at his, and it's just, I repeated it in episodes past, but it's almost the same scene before Anakin chops off Mace's arm. Luke looks at his hand, looks at Vader, looks at the Emperor, and is like, "I'm just I don't. My next path, if I kill him, is to become him just for you. Like, you're just replacing me with him, right? I'm not going to do that." So,
sorry, I'm pausing here because like as a 40-plus-year-old man that has made plenty of mistakes in his 40-plus years, as a human, as a father, as a husband, etc., we all make mistakes. I look at that scene now a little differently. I look at it as, you know who you are, you know who you're capable of being, and you know who you're capable of becoming. And if in that moment Luke retreats to that time where he realizes there is a way that he could become the one he's fighting, but do you really want to be that guy? And look, your father has lost his hand as well, and you just learned this, and you learned he took your hand. Are you going to take your father's place at the side of Palpatine, or are you going to stand next to Darth Vader? And I truly feel that because of all of that, he chose even a different path. And that path was neither. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to be alongside you, Palpy, and I'm not going to be alongside you, Vader. I am a Jedi. like my father before me. So yes, heroic in that moment. And we'll talk way more about this next week.
See,
But go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off, but this is why he's my favorite character, because if anyone were to talk to pre original Luke for what we know him in these movies, I'd say when people say, "Oh, you're the guy that saved the galaxy," Luke to me is always a character that said, "No, my friends and my father saved the galaxy," because that's the type of character that he is. Yeah. So that's just kind of adding to your point that you made.
Well, I think he also may have had that moment, and it gets back to the cliche of everybody starts out as a hero until you live long enough to become the villain. And so he had that moment where he wants to be heroic, but he knows he has the potential in him to become that villain, but he's not ready to go down that path yet.
So say what you want about Jordan Peterson. Yeah, I'm not getting all crazy here, but he has one piece that I absolutely love, and it's that I think it alludes to that. You have the potential to be very dangerous, right? Luke had the potential to be very dangerous, not just to anyone, stormtroopers or whatever. No, like to the whole network, the whole system. That's how much power he had, and he didn't even know it. He didn't even realize just how much power he had. Maybe I'm an idiot. Does anyone here think, please help me, that when he is fighting Vader, does he really think he's going to win? Let's start there. Does he think he's going to beat Vader?
I don't.
I think he thinks he just needs to take long enough.
Yeah, to turn him back to the light. That was the whole point. He goes up there.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Empire, not ROTJ. Doesn't he go to in Empire? He goes to kill him, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't know if he had that plan specifically. I think he went to save his friends.
Yeah,
and then got forced into a fight that he wasn't ready for.
Yeah, I think he in Empire thinks he is this hero that he's not ready to be yet. He dropped everything because he couldn't see his friends and his best friends be tortured and suffer like that. He was just going to go do whatever he needed to do to save him, regardless of who he encounters. Whether he succeeds or not is a different question. But
sure.
I don't think he's going up there like, I'm going to kill whoever's in my path. I want to go up there and save my friends.
So I want to touch a little bit here. Taking from that, the bounty hunters. We get introduced into a world in Empire Strikes Back that no one really knew existed, unless you watched the holiday special.
All right. We don't have to do that.
We don't have to talk about that. Please.
So when it comes to those guys, and then we're talking about Dengar and IG-88 and Boba and God, who else? The Trandoshan, Bosk. Several of those cats. Was this a necessary piece to the puzzle of the story, or was it just fluff to have some more action figures? Debbie?
It was fluff that was badass.
Yeah,
fluff that was badass.
Well, I think it was necessary because you need those characters once you start talking about Hutts.
Mm.
So I think it was like leading into like what was coming next and who actually had him and who had that bounty out for him.
Mm.
Because really, as you kind of go through more and more of the lore, you don't have bounty hunters without Hutt space.
True.
Accurate, Zane?
They were the arm of the Hutts. Damn. So why is I don't know.
Wouldn't it be more smugglers and bounty hunters though?
Both scoundrels. They're all scoundrels, right? So the class would be scoundrel, and then the
The
It is a
subclass.
class in Lego
would
Star
be-
Wars.
Not in SWTOR, but yeah,
scoundrel class, bounty hunter, merc, etc. No, Empire's a really unique movie. I cannot compare it to anything else I've ever seen. I think the storytelling is beautiful. The love story is beautiful. We're not going to talk about that BS because this is a Sith-based show. But it is, and you have great storytelling with the involvement of Yoda. And Yoda's not we don't know this till much later, 20 plus years later, 40 years later. But I mean, Yoda knows the Emperor's in control. Yoda knows who Vader is, doesn't he?
Yes.
yeah.
So how does Yoda know who Vader is? Because of the security tapes? Or what? Like, how does he know Vader's Anakin? Is that ever explained?
Doesn't
Don't they see it in the tapes in the temple?
That's what I'm
where
saying.
he's-
Like, is that where it's like, okay, he
yes,
is?
because they pronounce. I think the tape is there. There is a tape of him literally being knighted as Darth.
Yeah,
Vader.
and then
Oh, that's right. Shit, I'm an idiot.
I think they
Yeah.
talk about it on the were they on the Tantive 4 at the end of Revenge of the Sith? Whenever the twins are being born, when they're all sitting at the little boardroom table or whatever, I think they mentioned something like that. I don't know.
I thought it was when they were when they were sending the twins off separately.
Yeah.
They mentioned so that their father Vader could never find them.
Yeah,
That's right. That's got to be a tough secret to keep. I mean, not for Yoda, because he's
he's just
middle of nowhere.
gooning. Yeah, he's gooning on some planet, man. Nobody knows what he's doing.
Oh my god! Like I would like to think that he was a lot more sane than what he was. Like he was acting, but I don't think he was acting. I think he was just crazy. How long had he been there? 30, 20 years, 19 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
19 years of solitary confinement might do that to you.
Well, he had bats,
Swamp
Yeah.
gas.
swamp gas,
Swamp
Yeah.
gas.
Aurora Singh. Yeah. Get it.
Mm-hmm.
See, both my kids. They know. Both my kids know.
Wow, great dad. Great dad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. They talk about it after family's death. All right, last bit, and we'll be done. We'll wrap this up for tonight. But when it comes to the end,
Good song.
Vader and Vader reaches out to Luke. And there's that exchange that I started talking about earlier where he's like, join me. And it's in through the telekinetically through the force or whatever it's called. If they could commune together like that, is it, and this is my lack of lore, is it a proximity thing that he cannot speak or hear his father? They can't have a conversation because of the distance that they may be from each other, and that in that moment they're close and they can speak to each other. I need to understand how the force is working here, or is it just enjoy the effing movie and shut up?
Make sure both.
Yeah, because my understanding from lore, like when you get into like early lore, if a Sith was strong enough, then they could reach out across the galaxy. That was part of how like Bane started to get his calling. He was being called from several planets away. So I mean, if Vader was channeling, or if he had something to help him amplify, if he wasn't strong enough, he had like certain crystals, things like that would amplify that, then he could talk to Luke indefinitely. But the difference is, though, it's also kind of like caller ID. So it's also my understanding that you have the ability to mentally block certain force signatures.
So this is what was occurring in your favorite movies, Cam.
What?
Where Rey and Kylo were able to
Oh,
literally carry on a conversation from across the galaxy. And this is where I start. Oh, shit. We just lost Cam.
Oh,
This is a legitimate conversation about a very important piece here, which is how come Vader and Luke were able to hear each other's thoughts, and it must have been just a proximity thing. But if Vader was really as powerful as he is, or we assume he is in the Force, wouldn't he have been able to reach out to Luke after that? And is there something between ESB and ROTJ that alludes to that he has it? Because the way that Luke treats Vader in ROTJ is heads and tails different than the way he treated him in ESB.
Well,
So-
I
I think
think
he just sent him to the spam folder. Like he was like, I don't feel like dealing with this signal right now. Into the spam folder you go.
I think there's comics slash I don't know journals of him visiting Obi-Wan's hut and finding Obi-Wan's diary basically and learning a lot more about the relationship Anakin had with Obi-Wan and the battle on Mustafar and certain things, and
I remember that.
he's able to learn a little bit more about who Anakin really was, you know, which leads into why he treats him a little bit differently in ROTJ. And two, like, I mean, his two only mentors in life are saying like he's past redemption at this point, like you this is your destiny to face and kill him, right? And he's like but all he's heard all his life is how great of a star pilot his dad was, all the good things people in the rebellion said about him, and Clone Wars and whatever. But all he sees is this big black figure monster looking guy, you know what I mean? It just realizes that there's more there's more behind the man, behind the mask, you know.
what the mask is.
Yeah. So Debbie, I'm gonna ask you this because you did this is not a dig. I mean, you experienced this is like huge for us, right? That did not experience it as it happened. You didn't know walking into the theater that was the case, that he was the father, right? And so, yes, there was the air taken out, as you mentioned, but how did you feel when you saw that happen? Can you recall like that, like how you felt about that?
Pretty much the same way Luke reacted. I mean, without the dramatics, you know. It was just like, there's no way this guy is lying through his teeth. You know, there's just no way. So yeah, the 2 or 3 years in between the two movies was torture.
It was more or less a okay, yeah, this was said in the film. We know this guy's just being a dick. Like he's not really his father. Like that's kind of the general hot take on that during that time, I guess.
Yeah, well, at least for me, I mean, we didn't have internet back then, so there was really nobody else to talk to about it.
Except for the other nerds in line. Yes, I get it.
You know, well, yeah, but if you back then when you were a girl and if you know, proudly displayed that you were a Star Trek fan or a Star Wars fan, you know, and girls can't like that stuff.
I mean, that was true up until like 5 years ago. I speak this as fact. As someone who has experienced that, you know.
Look, my wife and I had matching Dark Side Light Star cars. I mean, you know, that's a thing. It's good.
Wow, you guys are so cute. Oh wow, so cute.
You know what, Cam? I swear.
Didn't even take me on a ride in it when I was literally over at his house.
What?
I mean,
You
what the
didn't even
hell?
ask. I'd been drinking.
Honestly, yeah, I was probably getting neither. Was it on the wheel?
Like I remember a buddy of mine from work. Like he had a S2000. If you know what go look up Honda S2000. This thing was a freaking just sick. And yeah, we were at a park. Yeah. Anyways, it was freaking awesome. My car is amazing, but I've had to do all the work to make it amazing. And yes, I will take you guys for a ride. If you ever show up at my house, I'll run you through. Zane's like, whatever. It's fine. It's not a big
I know
deal.
where he lives. I'm pulling up.
It's loud though now.
We all
Zane's like,
pull
I
up
couldn't do.
real
I had swapped out my
It was very loud.
exhaust, and yeah, I was playing with it, and it was very loud. Wait. Anyways, so.
Mhm.
Debbie, I think why I'm asking you this stuff is because it to me is so interesting that each of these generations experience it different, as I said, and experiencing something like that with that reveal is a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, I'm envious that I wasn't able to be there to watch that real time. Oh shit, that's his dad, or that's what he said. So when oh yeah, the last bit here. I said the last bit like 3 times. Last question. When they are leaving and they're having their mental exchange, thought, Luke, it is your destiny, all of that. That is a direct lead in to what happens in ROTJ. Where this is why I asked the question a while ago, where they're talking to each other or thinking each other through the Force whenever he heads to the moon of Endor and he sees the Executrix there. Executrix? No. What's the name of that ship? Sorry, the big star dreadnought, the ginormous Admiral Piet. Anyways, when they're flying casually, Chewie. Doing that bit, and we'll talk about that next week. But I just thought that that was a good segue to show what the Force. What?
No. What is this?
I think it's the Executor. Executor. There you go.
I thought that died in the first one.
Oh, who died in what? What Imperial officer died in Empire Strikes Back?
There's 2 of them.
It's hilarious. Like the one is really funny. Like, okay, it was Admiral Mati. He starts he gets choked, right? Remotely. Like I could only imagine if my boss could force choke me like through Zoom. That would suck. So he force chokes Admiral Mati and then promotes while he's choking Admiral Mati. He promotes Piet to Admiral. If that ain't some badass stuff. Oh, am I wrong?
Yeah, it's Admiral Ozzel.
Ozzel.
Yeah.
He is as clumsy as he is stupid. That's right. Admiral Ozzel. Admiral Mati, I think, died during that too. But anyways, point is, I know. When did Admiral Mati? You're gonna Google that? Okay.
I'm just looking at the character. Wait, he literally died in the first one. What?
I think the Empire had HR.
He got choked. Mati was the one who got choked in A New Hope.
Oh, A New Hope. That's right. We will not be swayed by your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion hasn't given you clairvoyance to find the stolen data tapes. Yeah. Okay.
Which we've already talked about that.
Well, I appreciate that because Empire Strikes Back is probably, I think, the majority of folks in the world that are Star Wars fans believe that is the best one.
Second one, yeah.
I think it's the third best. You think it's the second. We'll agree to disagree.
Oh, man. Free speech is such a great thing, isn't it?
I know.
Until you start talking about Jar Jar, and then it's just downhill from there. Jar Jar Abrams. Am I right, Chat?
Oh, my goodness. Had a conversation about Tony Gilroy tonight, actually. Really good conversation. So, Andor Season 2. Who's writing it?
Tony
Who's
Gilroy.
directing it?
Tony.
I don't know. I'm asking. Is he doing the second season?
Dude, I'm on the season finale of season 1. Holy shit, the show's phenomenal. I mean, it only takes having to sit through the Acolyte and all this other bullshit we've had to sit through, but this show's phenomenal.
Why haven't we talked about Andor? Oh, because there's not a whole lot of dark.
Because I
side
haven't seen
stuff
it.
there. You haven't
Oh.
seen it?
No.
Bro.
According to this, Alonso Ruiz Palacios, Ariel Kleiman, Janice Metz, and those 3 are ones who have directed episodes of Andor season 2. You're asking. So
I was.
I don't know
Alright.
any of these cats.
We're empty. You know what that
I'm
means?
pretty sure Gilroy's
Start wrapping up.
behind writing because he didn't direct a whole lot of season 1, but he's writing that bad boy. So it's gonna be good.
As we wrap up, last question, but I love to talk about Empire because it is such a staple movie, just period. So we'll go around one last time. Empire Strikes Back, scale of 1 to 10. Not where you're ranking it in the movies. I mean, just as a standalone, this is a badass movie. I'm giving it an 8. I think it's one of the best movies. I'm going to stick it around an 8 for all of it. I mean, come on, you had a Wampa that lost an arm.
I'd say as a standalone film, it was more of a 7. But as a Star Wars film,
are you admitting that? What's wrong with you?
And then, but as a Star Wars movie, I think it's an 8. I think, well, because I mean, think of it by itself without anything else. Like it really doesn't hold up, you know. I mean, it's a good movie, but I think the twists work better whenever you have what came before. So as a Star Wars movie, though, it's an 8 out of 10.
I'd say it's probably one of the best sequels of all time in terms of following its predecessor.
Like second movie.
Very few movies I think you can say are as good or not better than the prequel or first movie.
I mean, Dark Knight clears, but it's way better than the first one. Batman Begins is still fire though. Shout out Qui-Gon.
Still Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian.
He's in that. Debbie?
I give it a 9.5.
For a standalone? Damn.
Amen, Debbie.
Kat?
I'm gonna go the Zane route. So like as an overall movie, like a 7.5. But if you put it in like as a standalone Star Wars movie, like if we had no other Star Wars movies but that one, then I could give it like an 8.5.
Were you all feeling the love from Vader when he first walked in on Hoth? Did you? I mean, you weren't expecting the entrance. Come on, you weren't expecting Vader to show up.
It's pretty cool,
but it was badass.
He's
that black against the white Hoth, background. Sorry, go ahead.
And who else shows up? He's the only villain that we know that's alive. You know what I mean? At that point.
I mean, I anticipated just seeing a shitload of, troopers or whatever and trying to get him, seeing him arrive there.
Bro, Anakin's always in the trenches with his troops, man.
That's true. It's true.
Best standalone Star Wars film is Rogue One.
Oof. We're going to have to do these other shows that we haven't done yet. Like we did Rogue One. We did that already.
Mm-hmm.
We have not done Andor. Excuse me. We haven't done Andor. We haven't done Obi-Wan. Kenobi. I think those are the only 2 shows we haven't done. We've done, I think, every other show.
Have we done Rebels?
No, we haven't done Rebels.
I mean,
we can take pieces of Rebels if we'd like. We've still got
Clone Wars.
4 shows planned, so we can go back and hit some of those if we'd like. Starting around
Rebels has
time or whatever.
More lore than like any other show
I was gonna say,
we have out there.
Thank you, Filoni.
Episodes.
Yeah, and this is where Filoni was like.
This is his prime.
I don't think Filoni's Filoni anymore.
Bad Batch.
Does that make any sense to you guys? What I just said? I don't think Dave Filoni is the same Dave Filoni he was 4 years ago.
I don't.
Well,
he like was
Disney's not the
good
same.
in- He was good in
Disney's not
Clone
the same
Wars.
Disney anymore, bro. So
He was okay in Clone Wars, but I think Rebels really was his forte. I think it's where he really found what was working, and then Mando season 1.
Yeah, we haven't talked any of that stuff at all. It's fine. We'll talk about some of that.
We could talk about the first
All right.
Mandalorian Jedi.
So we're no.
hell yeah, what?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Later.
All right. Last bit for tonight, we have the Feast of Fandom. Thank you, Kat, for joining our show tonight. That was super fun.
Thanks
I think,
for having me.
yeah, absolutely. I think Cam and Zane and I kind of ran off a few times, and Debbie's about to fall asleep. So we just took off on a couple of tangents. Sorry about that, Deb. No, super cool to have you guys on. You as the representation of Feast of Fandom, you guys, Kat, to join us tonight and talk about ESB and talk about Feast of Fandom, plural. So go check them out. Did you already? Yeah, thanks for switching that.
YouTube.
Go check out their channel on YouTube,
Instagram or TikTok right here. TikTok,
all of it. The TikTok.
Instagram's right here, and
Yep.
then Facebook. I just searched this up.
And I'm tagging them every time I think about it, just to keep
We'll
stuff
throw them in
flowing
the
for you guys.
description.
Yeah. So next week we'll be talking about ROTJ. Our guest is Andrew. Debbie went and fell asleep. I know. We bored her tonight.
Good enough.
Oh, Debbie's locked in. What do y'all mean?
She's like, I ain't got shit to
She
say.
could go another
What I
hour if she
do, I'm
really
gonna
wanted to.
destroy you.
You try to say the right words. She'd go in for another hour.
That's right.
So
Past
Han
my
Solo.
bedtime.
So we'll work through that next week. Return of the Jedi. It might go even longer than 2. I want to stop it at 2 hours if we start to get to that, and we'll carry on in After Dark next week. But ROTJ is a huge episode. There's a lot of dark side stuff to talk about. There's so much about the seduction of the dark side. Luke Skywalker's. I wish he would have just like lopped off an arm instead of just a hand. Just so many things. I'm excited about this show. And we'll have Andrew as a guest. Any parting shots or hot takes before we head out for tonight?
I don't have any hot takes, but I have a few things I'm doing this week.
Talk about your gigs.
Yeah, so tomorrow, I am playing a gig up in Stephenville in Texas, right? And that's gonna be at where is this? Twisted J Bar. Twisted J.
Twisted J in Stephenville, Texas.
And I'm gonna be playing with Thomas Babiaks. I'm sing harmonies, play guitar, be fun.
But you're the drummer.
Oh, wasn't that weird? This weekend on Friday, 6th Street in Austin, I'm playing at Maggie Mae's. Same type of deal with Thomas, just me and him. That'll be fun. And then for the next full band, if y'all want to see a full 5-piece band, I'm playing out at I think it's Hog Heaven. Something like that. Yeah. I'm playing out at Hog Heaven with Thomas Babiak and the 30 Rack this Saturday the 28th.
Okay,
Saturday.
hold up. Zane.
Yeah.
I got you wearing that vest, that denim vest. So we got these over and at the thing, it's got this, yeah. And then on the back, it's like just this fat Sith logo, man. Like we
So,
totally
I
were.
think my husband bought one from the same vendor.
Yeah, probably.
Only his is it's either the Castlevania logo or the Cobra logo on the back, and his is
Probably.
I saw
Yep,
Cobra
yep.
one.
My wife has the Jedi logo
wow.
on hers. Yeah, it's white with the blue Jedi logo. Yeah, we got these and I totally dug them. But awesome, man. So playing out a few places over the next week, etc. Have a blast. Cam, you got anything going on? Any games we need to go watch you roll?
Hell no. Don't come to those, bro.
Debbie, what you got going on this week?
Thursday night we'll be talking about over on Feast of Fandoms We'll be the first show to stream live over there. And we are talking about the new Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy.
When does that hit?
It landed last Friday.
Wait, it's already out, like in the theater or in the on
Disney
streaming?
Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Shut up!
I
Dude,
can't believe you didn't even know about that.
I didn't
come
even know.
on.
I knew
Yeah,
it was
you should have
coming.
known this.
Dana's
Right,
not
Gillen?
locked in, man.
All right, when I'm done with The Gentleman on Netflix, I'll flop over to that.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was great. So we're excited
Love The
to
Gentleman.
yap about it.
Shoot, I can never like get ahead of anything. I swear.
Well,
All
see,
right,
I'm
who's
a
up?
hermit, so I
Oh.
keep up with this stuff.
You're not a hermit. Okay, maybe.
Yes,
so.
I am.
You see the books in the background? Like,
Cat, you're up. All right. Do
All
it.
right. So, of course, most importantly, before I forget this, if you enjoy what the Sith Dominion's doing here, make sure that you click that like and subscribe button down below and hit that bell so that way you're notified every single time that they go live. As Debbie mentioned, their first live show over there at Feast of Fandoms on YouTube, as well as on Facebook. So whichever you prefer to stream through, you can check out their show. Like I said, make sure you hop over there and follow us across social media. That way you get to be part of that fun community and you don't miss out on any of the fun stuff we're going to bring you in the future.
Rock and roll. I don't know what this is. Is this it? I don't know. What am I supposed to push here? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. Thank you guys for joining. This was super fun. Kat, super awesome to have you on Feast of Fandoms. We will absolutely be promoting from our angle because, yeah, we wouldn't even be here without GNN and the relationships we built. So thank you. Man, next week, ROTJ. You cannot get this. If you can, it'll be there. If you can't, we'll have the new stuff. But we'll be working towards getting that shop with some actual merch. Unfortunately, the coolest logo, until the newest coolest logo, is no longer available. The newest coolest logo, I actually am super excited about because I think it gives us a little more. What's the word? Not volatility.
let's
no,
just say it's very
Variability.
mindful, very demure.
yeah,
Oh, geez.
demure. Goodness. I don't
Very
know, I'm
pretty, very demure.
Very
very
demure.
mindful.
Yes. Yeah. Anyways, any party shots? Anyone else got anything before we head out? Hot take. We got about 5-10 minutes, and we'll be over on the after show. Is someone already on the after
That's
hour
me.
show?
That's
Oh,
me.
that's you.
I'm deafened.
All right. So we already got the room open. So come join us. You know what? Thank you all for joining. Everyone out there in podcast land. And remember, oh, wait, hold on. Wait, you already went through all the shows. Never mind. All the shows that we used to promote are now on that other channel. Go check it out. Feast of Fandoms. Remember, kids, peace is a lie, and there's only passion. Good night, y'all. Great show. Oh, Debbie.
We're still
wait.
live.
You know what? The goal has
Still
to
live.
be Debbie on.
We're still live.
Oh,
Bro's not locked in.